In this class of business, environment, and ethical practices, we'll be talking about ethics in the marketplace. What I mean, like unethical practices which are seen in business, let's have a look at that first. First is managers lying to employees, and it could happen at any level, like top to mid to lower level, anywhere. Office nepotism and favoritism, it is quite evident everywhere. But at the end of the day, it is unethical. Then taking credit for others' work, this again, unfortunately, is seen almost everywhere. But again, this is like unethical. Receiving or offering undue benefits. It is especially seen in government departments, but it can be seen in private entities as well. In order to secure good deals, to lure people into something, like this is a regular thing which we get to see nowadays. Then stealing from the company, it is illegal as well and unethical for sure. Then firing an employee for whistleblowing. This, as per the ethics, must not be done. But we have seen certain cases wherein somebody who raised objection to anything unethical was treated badly, which is again unethical. But this at times it happens. Padding expense accounts. This is like uh, showing the expenses on a higher side in order to evade tax, to gain supernormal profits, or could be for anything. But ultimately, this is not right. Then divulging confidential information or trade secrets. It happens in government and private entities both. Secrets are to be kept safe. But if somebody is like leaking it, or somebody is exposing it to some to a party, to an individual who is not supposed to be knowing all their that secrets, then it is an unethical practice. Then terminating employment without sufficient notices. We have seen that at times companies, and it especially happens in companies which are not professional in their approach, or those who don't have that agreement with their employees. So, but again, it is seen so many times that companies tell their people to leave. Despite like this recently happened in so many cases in COVID-19 during the lockdown and all. Companies ask their employees to leave immediately without giving them proper benefits and everything. Then using company property or materials for personal use. It happens almost everywhere, and there is no particular research or specific percentage, but I can assure you more than 70-75% people do this. So, but again, this is unethical. Unethical practices in different areas. This is as per a survey. These are the areas or the departments or the verticals wherein unethical practices are seen the most. Like in government, especially in tendering and all, we read every other day that some scam happened and all. Sales, sales, unfortunately, is being showcased as something wherein misrepresentation, etc., is a normal thing. Then law, media, finance, medicine, banking, manufacturing. And it's not like in other industries or segments, this is not happening. But on an average, these industries are more exposed to this kind of practices. Now let's have a look at work ethics, a group of moral principles, standards of behavior, or set of values regarding proper conduct in the workplace is called work ethics. So basically here we are applying the ethical conduct in the workplace. Let's have a look at the responsibilities of business towards its customers. So before we discuss this, we must learn that when it comes to business ethics, when it comes to ethics in the marketplace, these ethics can be viewed from different angles. like what the company's conduct should be towards its employees, society, customers, stakeholders, and etc. And it can also be viewed as the ethical responsibility of individuals working within the company. So when we say ethics in the workplace, it's not confined to the organization only, or it's not confined to the employees only. Rather, it takes everything and everybody into consideration. Let's have a look at ethical responsibility of business towards its customers. First is to treat all customers with respect. Companies which are customer centric tend to do this, but at times customers are handled improperly. That should not be happening. Then another responsibility is to be honest. Is to be honest, like whatever it takes, and should be honest with all the entities involved, be it the customers, the employees, the channel partners, the vendors, etc. The company must not exaggerate the merits of its products or services. It seldom happens. Everybody exaggerates. Advertising and promotions and salesmanship is more about exaggeration nowadays. But still, this is not the right practice. The another responsibility is the company must inform customers of possible danger of its products or services, which rarely happens. And most of the times companies tend to hide this kind of elements. Like for instance, in case of medicines, companies tell you what all benefits the particular medicine or drug or vaccine will give you, but they don't tell you what all side effects it can have. So that is not a right approach. And last but not the least, all the disputes, if any, must be handled fairly. And the organization must always keep customer in center, and everything it does should be customer centric and should be done for the well-being of the customers. Ethical responsibility of the business towards its employees, establishing an ethical workplace wherein the ethics, the element of ethics is reflecting in the work environment, work culture. Because unless that happens, employees won't be in a good position to apply ethics. Uh, Business must also create a written code of ethics in order to avoid ambiguity, to set guidelines to help the business owner and employees make ethical decisions. Anything which is well drafted and in written format tends to be more effective, and it eliminates the factor of confusion or ambiguity. Then the organization must establish company policies and procedures to let business owners and employees know how to act in certain situations. So if there are well-laid policies and procedures, there are very high chances that employees will also follow that. In most of the cases, especially when we talk about medium or small enterprises, these organizations don't have written code of conduct, which is again a source of unethical behavior, because people either get confused or they cross the line of ethical conduct because they don't know what the organization wants them to do. So there should be a valid policy. And like for example, every company wants maximum sales, but if they don't want that their sales managers or sales executives should not bribe the customer, the client, then they should have a particular policy in its place. And there should also be the element of deterrence. Only then they can ensure that the sales executives or managers will stick to the fact that they are not supposed to bribe or to give any undue benefit to the target customers. And last but not the least, one of the most important, in fact, the responsibility of business towards its employees is to treat all of them fairly. No nepotism, favoritism, no giving undue advantage to anyone. no suppression of opinions, etc., should ever take place in any good business organization. Ethical responsibility towards the society is to contribute money to charities, cultural institutions, and reputable causes, and that too, like without looking for any particular benefit for the company itself. Then getting involved in welfare activities wherever it can. Donation of product and services can be done. And last but not the least, to sponsor or support fundraising for non-profit organizations, NGOs, etc., that support the community. So if you are not doing anything directly, you can be a pillar of support for other organizations as well. Thank you.